Thanks for coming. What I want to do today is I want to help you maximize your fasting, since it's the first week of Ramadan, and I get hundreds of questions every Ramadan about how to improve my health, how to do it right, how not to gain weight. So what I'll do is I'll give you my tips, what I think are the most important things today, and then I'll leave some time for questions and answers. If there's anything you don't understand in English, I can explain it in Arabic, no problem. Okay? So let's first start with how you can maximize your fast. Fasting is heavy-duty detox, and I say that on its own there, because that's a very big statement. Because a lot of people, or most people, I think fast for religious reasons, and that's a very good reason, of course. But many people forget that the main reason behind fasting is that we detox. That's the whole point. I mean, people go to retreats to detox, people go to health centers to detox. And we get to do it on a yearly basis. And this, I think the theory behind it originally in Islam is that you jumpstart your detoxification system once a year. Because not everybody gets a chance to do a detox per se, or go to a health retreat per se. So we get a chance to do it. The problem is, we tend to fall into the pitfalls of our culture. There's a lot of bad habits that we have inherited within our culture, and that kind of messes up the detox system. What do you think are the benefits of fasting? At the risk of sounding like a cliche, why do we fast? Other than the religious reasons. There's seats up here, by the way. There's lots of seats up here. 1, 2, 3. I can see. Nobody likes to sit here. So why do we detox? Can you hear me back there? Yeah, you can hear. Why do we fast? Sorry. The biggest reason is that we're detoxing. Why else? Give me some other reasons. What are the benefits of fasting? Why are we told to fast for a whole month on a yearly basis? There must be a very big reason. There must be several reasons why we do it. Why do we do it? Off the top of your head. There's no right or wrong answer.
To understand how poor people are actually suffering.
Okay, great. Yeah. On a social level, you can relate to poor people. What about on a physical level? On a health level?
Self-control.
Control eating habits, self-control. Okay, what else? Why? Let me give you an example. You know when they say you have to control your mind, and the only way that you can control your mind is if you meditate. And the reason why you can control your mind when you're meditating is because you are in complete stillness and you are in silence. Okay? The same thing goes physically. When you want to control your body and you want to heal your body, you have to be in silence. There has to be stillness in the system. And it cannot be still and it cannot be healing if there's food coming in and toxins coming in and drinks and all kinds of things happening on a daily basis. So you have to put a stop to it, just like you do when you meditate, in order for things to happen. So let me show you the benefits of fasting that I have come up with off the top of my head. I'm sure there's a lot more. But your digestion gets a break. Because on a daily basis, there's stuff going in, there's stuff coming out. It's like a machine, it has to work. So digestion gets a break, immunity gets a boost. So white blood cells perform better when you're fasting. You get to detox, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Also, you speed up the healing process, and you slow down the aging process, which is the benefit that everybody loves. Your age slows down. You know how when you see those people who live beyond 100, none of them are overweight. Nobody is overweight. The more you eat, the faster you age. It's as simple as that. So eating less is actually an anti-aging mechanism. And the majority of people overeat on a daily basis. Most of us eat a lot more than we need. So fasting is a great way to do that, if you're doing it right. Okay? So you speed up the healing process, you rest the organs, you remove the allergens from the gastrointestinal tract, that's what GI is, anti-aging, and weight loss. if we're doing it right. How many people lose weight in Ramadan?
This is the first time I lost.
Okay, so far.
Yeah, so far.
And everybody else gains weight? How many people gain weight?
Be honest, you guys.
I'll ask that again. Why do you think you gain weight? You eat after you break your fast. Okay, let's talk about that. So what happens if you're not doing it correctly, the fasting? There's more seats in the front, guys, instead of adding seats. So if with fasting you get all these benefits, you get the digestion gets a break, that you have anti-aging, you have an immunity boost, why don't we all have them? What are the side effects? What do we really feel when we're fasting? What do you feel when you're fasting? You feel lighter? What about the negative things you feel? Hungry?
Tired.
Sorry, tired?
Sleepy.
Headache? What else? No energy, dehydrated, angry, mood swings. Why does that happen? Sorry, the sugar is low. Also, because fasting is a detox process, you're going into heavy-duty detox. And every time you detox, there has to be side effects. The higher the side effects, the more toxic you were in the first place. Okay? So if you go on a detox retreat, for example, you go on holiday somewhere and you go on a health retreat to a health farm, and you plan to do a detox, they give you a list of things to do and not to do before you start. Okay? And they say avoid this and avoid that and avoid smoking and avoid coffee and avoid all the things that you're not supposed to be having while you're detoxing. Why do they do that? Because when you get them out of your system, it's a serious process. And the way we do it is we continue to do these things until the night before Ramadan. And then we jump immediately into detox overnight. And this is why you get the side effects. The headaches, the mood swings, whatever. I have some of the side effects. Some people break out in skin rashes. It's because all these toxins that you've accumulated all year round, they have to come out now immediately, almost overnight. So some people get headache. Of course, headache is also because of dehydration. But headache is also the process of getting the toxins out. A sinus congestion. Some people get congested. Who gets congested in Ramadan? You get a sinus congestion because the toxins have to come out through the body's cavities. And the sinus is one of the biggest cavities. So it gets bombarded overnight. And the biggest pitfall that we all fall in is that we don't prepare our body for Ramadan. Ideally we should, but we don't. And most people are actually eating until late at night the night before just to prepare for the hunger the next morning, forgetting that we are actually embarking on a big journey of detoxing our system. Okay, and people pay a lot of money for that, by the way. When you go to a health retreat and you're trying to detox your body, you pay a lot of money for that. And we get to do it, but because we're doing it wrong, we're getting these side effects. Okay, so we'll talk about preparing your body for fasting. So ideally you should improve the diet beforehand. Okay, let's say you haven't had a chance. Ramadan started, we're already a week in, you haven't had a chance to improve your diet before Ramadan. You're in it now. What are the things that you can do right now to help your body through the rest of the process? Okay, the first thing is that you have to give your body the raw materials. Now let's say I tell you go run a marathon. There's no way you can run a marathon unless you have the nutrients inside your system to allow your muscles to do that, unless you have enough rest, unless you have enough practice. It's a big, big endeavor to do. So in order to detox properly, your body needs the raw materials. What are the raw materials? What are some things in the diet that are so necessary for your body to be able to detox? Vegetables. How many people eat vegetables in Ramadan? Salads. How many people have salads? Okay. What I've noticed is that the salad consumption goes down in Ramadan. The sambusa consumption comes up in Ramadan. Although it should be the other way around. You know, your system has to have the vegetables and the salads in order to get rid of the toxins that have accumulated. What about hydration? How many of you drink enough water in the evening to hydrate? Okay. The next time you drink water, I want you to look at the bottle of water that you're drinking and look at the sodium levels in that bottle. Sodium is salt. Okay? Most bottles sold here in Bahrain, or processed here at least, have very high sodium rates, which means it's salty. It's water with salt. And we end up gulping and gulping and gulping water and not hydrating enough. And you end up being thirsty the next day or having a headache the next day. So the key is not really the quantity of water that you're drinking in the evening, it's the quality. Because you might be drinking 3 bottles of the sodium high water and might need just 1 of the low sodium. And this is very, very important. And you can ask me at the end, I can give you some names of better quality water that you can drink at the risk of sounding like I'm advertising. Yes? Well, I'll tell you what, the water that I drink has about 5.6 water. I don't know if, is that Shahnaz? Yeah, have a look at what you're drinking. It would be interesting to see. I know that the average water sold in Bahrain is about 18. Yeah, 20 is very high. You don't feel the saltiness, but in essence, it's not hydrating your cells on the inside. And you end up being more thirsty. And I've seen people who say, I'm drinking so much water, it's not enough, especially in this heat. Of course it's not enough, but it's also the quality of water that you're drinking. Another thing, and people who drink a lot of water and still don't get hydrated, there's a deficiency of something specific. Who knows what that deficiency is? There's something missing as well if you're drinking a lot of water and not being hydrated. What's missing? Calcium, no. If you imagine the cells inside our body are circles, okay? Inside them is the water. On the outside, there's a layer of something that helps keep the water inside. Without that layer, the water just leaches out. No. Close. It's fat, believe it or not. But it's not the fat from sambusas. It's the essential fats. It's the omega fats. I'm sure you've heard of omega-3, 6, 9 fats. These are the fats that coat the cells. When these fats are low in your body, the cells are open. And you're drinking and drinking and drinking water. It's going into the cells, but it's coming right back out. So these 2 things you have to look for. If you're thirsty and you get dehydrated very quickly, first thing is look at the sodium levels in your water and look at your intake of essential fats. Where do essential fats come from? Raw nuts. Olive oil. Fish. Some kinds of fish, yes. Not roasted nuts. When you roast them, these essential oils, when you expose them to heat, they become rancid and they have the opposite effect.